Hi everyone. In the past I have made more than one video on how to connect an equalizer to a cassette deck, as well as how to connect an equalizer to an amp with a preamp or accessories input and outputs, as they're sometimes called. If you have watched any of these videos, you'll know it all depends on the amplifier you have on how you can connect the equalizer. I won't be going into the information already available in those previous videos, as those videos are as current as the day they were posted. And you can find them in my playlist called How to Connect. The most frequently asked question is, can I connect my equalizer to the turntable, CD player, or maybe a tuner? So a playback only device with only outputs and no inputs, as opposed to like a cassette deck or a CD recorder / burner. This, for instance, is a CD player and it's only got outputs. The same would apply for a turntable or the tuner. Let's see if I can answer this question for you today. To answer that question, I'm going to have to bring out an amplifier. This is not a high-end amplifier, and it does not have accessory or preamp outputs. So let's see if I can answer this question and actually satisfy my own curiosity whether this can be done or not. So now that I have all the components here that I need to see whether this is going to work or not. Let's turn the gear around and have a look at all the inputs and outputs on each and every one of these. And here you can clearly see the inputs and outputs on the equalizer regarding a cassette deck. Obviously outputs only on a CD player or a turntable or even a tuner if it were one. So this applies to a tuner, turntable or a CD player. It's only got outputs. Multiple inputs on the amplifier. As I said, this is only a mid-range at the best. It's not a high-end amplifier, so it does not have accessory connections with the bridges. So it does not have the preamplifier connections on it, obviously. Let's see. And this is a question I get frequently from the viewers of those videos. If they can equalize the output from their CD player turntable coming out through playback on the amplifier that they have. Let's get stuck into it. In order to do this, I'm going to have to dig out some spare RCA cables. So I have dug out some cheapo cables, and for this to work, I think we're going to disregard the tape section of the equalizer and just use the equalizer input and output as you would on a premium amplifier with accessories or preamp connectors. What I'm going to do is connect the output from the CD into the input on the equalizer called record. Obviously right to right and left to left. I have turned off the devices earlier before I started doing this. So now I've got the output from the CD player, or turntable if you prefer, into the input of the equalizer. And on the second cable, I'm going to connect the equalizer, output from the equalizer, into the amplifier. So if this is going to work, again, left to left and right to right. And if this is going to work, I'll just plug this into the CD player section, because it is a CD player. If it was a turntable, you'd want to plug into the turntable outputs, or rather inputs, on the amplifier. Let's have a closer look at what I've done, or how I have connected this outputs from the playback device, regardless of what it is, into the equalizer inputs, disregarding the tape section of it. So that's interconnected with the playback device, and output from the equalizer into the CD player here. And this is only going to work on the CD player. It's not going to work on anything else. If you have a turntable, you'd connect the turntable like this, and it's not going to work on any other device in the stack you have, but only on a device interconnected with the equalizer. Let's turn the gear around and see how that works. And if you focused, it would be good. Like that. And so I have turned everything around and plugged it in. Let's turn on all the devices. So I'm going to need some royalty-free music. And there's actually one more thing I'm going to need. I don't want to plug in speakers into it, it's too much work. Sorry, I'm lazy. I'm going to use the headphones out to plug it into another system over there. Before I do that, I'm going to pause for a little while. For that, I'm going to use a reducer like this, headphone jack to RCA adapter, like that, and it's going to go into the headphone jack on the main amplifier. Select CD player. CD player selected. So that's interconnected to my stereo, and I'll use that for sound output out of this stack here. Let's close the door and press play. Actually, let's go to tune number 2. And that's working. Nothing blew up yet, nor it will. let's set it on something listenable. Let's not overdrive the input and work with the output on the other stereo. So I have satisfied my own curiosity and the answer to the question, or the multiple questions of the viewers of my channel. And tape monitor has to be off. If you got the tape monitor on, that's not going to put the sound through to your main amplifier. So tape monitor off if you want to listen through the equalizer, unless you got it hooked up specifically to the tape deck. Equalizer off. And now equalization on. So let's pause this. Yeah. So thank you for that question, and I hope this answers everyone's question whether they can connect their turntable and equalize it through the amplifier. Yes, you can. You can equalize your turntable, you can equalize your CD player or even your tuner if you wish, but not all at once. For that you would need a switch box. Yeah, you need a switch box, and that would be another video entirely altogether. So if you know how to wire up a switch box, you'll be able to do that. If you don't, if you just got a turntable and an amplifier and you've got an equalizer that you want to use, this is all the information you need, whether it's turntable, CD player, or whatever you wish to equalize. It's simply connected in line, and this does work. Once again, thank you for your question, and thank you for watching all the videos. Have an awesome day. Like and subscribe if you don't mind me asking.